Welcome back to KUTV Primetime News here at KUTV, a new experience. And we have an interesting conversation I had hinted earlier on careers and mentorship. And I don't want to waste too much time. I just want to go to the facts because we're here to be educated on how to live better, especially in times like this where Kenyans are crying everything finances. And the word finances is in everyone's mouth, especially on a Friday evening when people have left work. And one of the reasons I believe people are crying for money is because they've not been able to advance in their careers. The gentlemen we have tonight are special gentlemen who are going to give us something to take home, something to think about in terms of what we have in our society. And one gentleman by the name Emmanuel Gitonga tells me that many students who leave campus are not job friendly. We're going to be understanding what that entails and how it's going to be. But in good light, even as we continue to battle the problem of unemployment all over the world, many people, and even here in Africa, many Africans are stepping in to solve this crisis. And we have two wonderful gentlemen who I'm going to introduce in a few seconds who are solving problems of career development, of you getting in touch with a placement once you're done with school. I'm talking about a company by the name Bridgelab that is here to solve your problems, matters, mentorship, and careers. And I'm introducing my gentlemen tonight. I'll begin with Emmanuel Gitonga, who is the director and co-founder at Bridgelab. And next to him is Ben Kimani, who is CEO and co-founder of Bridgelab. And gentlemen, karibuni sana to this conversation.
Thank you.
It's an honor, and you guys look sharp, real sharp. All right, so let's, for a Friday, my director says for a Friday, you're looking very sharp. So we are glad to have awesome looking gentlemen. And of course, I begin with you, Emmanuel. Earlier, as we were having a discussion earlier before this particular interview, you mentioned that many students leave universities and they're not job friendly. What is this job friendliness and how do you see it?
So it takes about 5 years for an average university graduate in Kenya to get a job. Mm-hmm. About 51% of the graduates who leave universities every year, it takes them, first of all, it takes them 5 years. And then the other thing is that actually they are unfit for the job market. What that means, every single year we're churning out students, we're churning out people who we deem to be ready for the job market, to take up the job market and the economy, but they are not ready. Yeah.
All right. And I don't know how you know you've passed through that particular system, and of course one time you were in school, you told me you were in the great Kenyatta University. Same case as Ben. So we're dealing with alumni of Kenyatta University, and this has seemed to be a big problem, not just in Africa, not just in Kenya, but in the world. How do you see this problem, and how big do you think this problem is of people plugging into their right careers, not just any careers?
Yeah, it's not just a problem in Kenya, it's actually an Africa-wide problem. Mm-hmm. And that's why we come in and we call ourselves Bridgelab Africa, because our goal is to go to the entire of Africa and to bring this solution to everyone. We are confident that one of the things that are lacking in currently, for the graduates who are leaving school is mentorship. We strongly believe that anyone who has been able to rise through their career, whichever place they are right now, will be able to tell you that at some point I was able to get some form of mentorship in one form or another. It could have been offered at their workplace. It could have been people who they interacted through their social networks. It could have been, whichever way, accidental or intentional, but they had somebody who held their hand. And that's why we strongly believe we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of experience going around, even in the Kenyan industries, where we have fellow Kenyans who are already working, they already know what they're doing, and they can hold hands to our fellow brothers and sisters who are joining campus and those who have already left campus in deciding what they want to do, and also holding their hands and telling them what to expect.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, Brother Ben, yes. Do you agree with your colleague that this is such a big problem? And have you seen it firsthand, having also been an alumnus of the Great Kenyatta University? Have you seen this, or have you heard of it? Have you faced it yourself, this particular problem that we're talking about of people plugging into their careers successfully?
So thank you, Martin. Thank you for inviting us to share on this very beautiful conversation. This is a very dear conversation to me, especially because of my personal experiences and the experiences of so many people that we school with. You've rightly said that I am a proud alumnus of this great university. Okay. And one of the challenges we faced after graduation was, where do you start? Where do you pick from? We are blessed. So many of us are blessed to be pioneers in many fields that we pursue. There are people who did economics, and they are the first in their family to do economics. You find someone in water engineering, they're the first people, probably even in their village, to pursue such a field. So after graduation, you find people are lost. They have the qualifications, they have the papers, but you really don't know where to pick from. And I think that's why Emmanuel was saying that mentorship could be the solution, because you're finding that people who had mentorship after university, their career prospects took a different path from those who did not have such a benefit. You need someone to hold your hand and to lead you in the corporate world, because you find that whatever you learn in class and whatever is in the corporate world, at times it's worlds apart. You find that the theories and the frameworks that you've learned in class may not necessarily fit in the corporate world. You need someone who has been there, someone who has seen it all, someone who has encountered the challenges that you encountered to hold your hand. Just to tell you that this is the right path to follow, these are the right courses to do. You need to start with an internship here. You may consider this voluntary opportunity here. So it's the conversation that we want to have, and it's the conversation that Bridgelab is starting and hoping to make it nationwide and even continental.
Amazing. Let me go back to you, Emmanuel. He has mentioned, your colleague Ben has mentioned about mentorship as a way of solving this particular problem. Why mentorship, and what is the practicality of this mentorship in making sure these people plug into their careers?
Look at our education system. For most of us who call ourselves millennials and the generations before, the system is designed to place you according to your grades, put you in a particular course depending on how many points you got. That's how the system has been. But over the last couple of years, what we have seen is, I would call it another industrial revolution of sorts, where we are going into tech. Tech is becoming, the order of the day. Now we are talking about AI over and over again. We're talking about social media becoming a mainstream form of income. More and more graduates are walking out and they're finding that, oh wow, the main, the big 5 or the big 6 undergraduate courses which I could have taken are, there are not enough jobs, to just absorb everyone. And so people are trying to find solutions. And naturally, what we are seeing is that the newer generation is finding means to learn and teach themselves new skills. So the same way the industry is also turning around and new jobs are coming up, such as social media marketing, such kind of jobs were not there before. The people who are actively running these roles right now are in a way pioneers, and so the younger people who are coming on board need to have people who will hold their hands so that they become way better than these people. And identifying the career, knowing what really it entails. The best way to have that form of view is through mentorship, is through sitting with somebody online, physically or even offline, and really understanding the details and saying, okay, this is something that I want to do. And it let's say the main difference is knowledge. That is what sets us apart, and that is what will set us apart. And if you look at the Western countries and what's going on there, is that younger people are empowered way earlier. And they get to have information about these careers that they would want to do. By the time somebody is becoming an adult, getting to 18, they're already putting in the hours in the right career that they want to do. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for that insight. Let me come back to you, Ben. Before I switch to Emmanuel, you talked about Bridgelab existing to solve this particular problem. How does Bridgelab come to practically solve the problem of, we're here, I have no idea where I'm supposed to plug in, I have no idea how I'm supposed to become the professional person that I want to be. So how does Bridgelab now come and actually bridge that gap?
Thank you, Martin. So Bridgelab was born out of these conversations, and our preliminary work showed us that there were so many professionals, people who are feeling that they have achieved something out of grace and they would love to give back, but they really don't know where to start. Let's say I am a research analyst. That's what I do. If you tell me to start mentoring, the first question I'll ask you is where, who. So Bridgelab answers the where and who. Is intuitively created to ensure that if you are a marketing student or a marketing graduate, it links you to guys in the marketing field. For instance, we have very good sales directors, we have marketing directors on our platform, and our AI algorithm will automatically link you to those professionals. We have engineers, we have civil engineers in our field. So if a student has just graduated with civil engineering, our algorithm will automatically link you with that person. And what happens is that we recently had a very we recently had a very interesting scenario where one of our HR mentees was actually being mentored by a very top HR in town. The top HR actually found that there was a vacancy somewhere where this mentee that she had been grooming could fit, and who better to link that position to. So this that is one person who has actually benefited from mentoring conversations and from mentoring arrangements. When we foresee that these conversations and these mentoring partnerships will even create more jobs, more opportunities for people, because we foresee a situation where an engineer or a doctor or a nurse is holding probably a conversation with 5 mentees, 5 maybe nursing students, and linking them to internships in various places, linking them to opportunities in various places. So we want to ensure that wisdom and that experience and those resources that the mentor has can be used to benefit these mentees that are upcoming.
Right. Okay, thank you so much for that. And that sounds like a brilliant platform already. But how do we access that platform, Iman?
It's very easy to access the platform. Just open your phone, go to Google, search Bridgelab, career mentoring. It's bridgelab.africa. Once you get to the platform, from there it's very easy, very straightforward. You can create your account. If you're a mentee, create your account as a mentee. A few steps and you're already into the platform. If you're a mentor, same process. It will give you a few steps, ask you a couple of questions so that we can get to understand you better, and your expertise, your background, how long have you been there. It's also linked to such platforms as LinkedIn, so it's easy for you to just plug in your information there, and also set your rates, charging rates. If you want to have a one-on-one session, if you want to have one-to-many sessions, also you can set up your availability time, so that when you're free, mentees are able to see and they're able to log in and make a request to have a conversation with you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Back to you, Ben. As CEO, the responsibilities rest heavily on your shoulder. What does the future look like for Bridgelab and for this whole situation of, I don't know what to do, I'm done with school? What is your vision for that, and how should we keep you accountable as the media fraternity?
Thank you, Martin. I think the potential for mentorship is really limitless, and we are looking forward to having Bridgelab embedded in every learning institution, where all students are plugged to a mentor. Whether you are in second year, whether you're in third year, or whether you're graduating, you already have someone who is telling you that this is how the corporate world is looking, these are the dynamics that are happening in the market, and this is how you should position yourself even as you graduate. Over time, we are hoping to ensure that Kenyan youth have mentors, and we are even hoping to expand this mentorship blessing to the entire Africa. We are hoping that there will be a time that a Kenyan graduate will actually link to a graduate in probably in Ghana, in South Africa, in Nigeria, and actually look for job opportunities out there. We know the situation in Kenya, that actually 67% of the young people in Kenya are unemployed. We are hoping that these conversations can be continental wide, where a doctor that graduates in Kenya can actually link with a doctor in Egypt and get mentorship and learn what is happening there. Are there opportunities? Are there new technologies that are being developed on the other side? So really, the potential for Bridgelab is limitless. You can hold me accountable on that.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. 20 seconds for any last pressing word that you have before we let you go. Anyone?
I'll go first. So we strongly believe this is a tool that is going to help many people, especially Kenyans. And our call is for people who are already established in the industry, whether you are a doctor, whichever field, you're a musician, you're a social media expert, you're an engineer. It's time for us to really plug back and help, our young brothers and sisters who are coming up. The best way to do this is to give back and to reach out to them and hold someone's hand. I'm sure that where you are right now, somebody held your hand, and so it's a call through Bridgelab to do the same, and things will be better. We'll be living in a much better country.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Munasi, any last pressing words? 10 seconds.
I think 10 seconds will not do any justice on the conversation, but I think I'll just pick from where we left. We are requesting and hoping that the guys who are in the corporate world can really come on board. We are on social media, we are doing calls, and we are reaching out to them. But this is just a clarion call. Let's embrace this mentorship conversation. Let's keep the mentorship conversation going. And Bridgelab is here to do that. So plug in, whether you're a mentor or a mentee, plug in, come to the platform, and let's change the conversation. Let's come from a point of complaining about the challenges that we have as a nation, and let's look at the resources that we have. We have a lot of resources, a lot of potential in terms of human capital, in terms of experience, in terms of knowledge, and we can really, there's something we can do as ourselves to help the upcoming generation and to shape the future of not only Kenya but also Africa.
Amazing, amazing. You can keep me accountable. I'm going to join your platform and become a mentor, because I do mentorship here every week to students from the university. So why not join your platform and grow my mentorship capabilities? Thank you so much, gentlemen. This is Emmanuel and Ben from Bridgelab, CEO and Director, and joining us for this interesting conversation. This is just the beginning. I hope you guys have time for us and come back later to advance the conversation.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.